While everyone has been talking about Stetson Bennet and JT Daniels and who should start for Georgia in the national championship game, one player has gone under the radar. This player is the strongest arm in the quarterback room and is extremely athletic. The issue is, he is a true freshman. The quarterback I am talking about is former 5-star recruit Brock Vandagriff, who may be the future of the Bulldogs program. But who is Brock Vandagriff, and why is he the future of Georgia's football program? Brock Vandagriff grew up in Bogart, Georgia, a town that is about 20 minutes away from Athens depending on the traffic. Although Vandagriff grew up so close to Georgia, he actually did not grow up a Bulldogs fan. His family actually had season tickets to Auburn until he was 10. His father, Greg, grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee, and his mother is originally from Alabama. Greg told The Athletic, "We're like spies living in a different land in Athens." So how did Brock end up so close to Georgia? Well, Brock's dad, Greg, is a high school football coach, and his coaching career brought him to the Peach State. Greg was a head coach at Kell High School in Marietta and the Woodward Academy in Atlanta before taking the job at Prince Avenue Christian School. Brock started playing football in elementary school, participating in flag football. Greg thought his son would be a defensive player due to Greg being a defensive mind. Let's just say he struggled playing defense. He would catch up to guys with the ball, but struggled to take the flags away in flag football. What Brock could do was throw the ball. Brock told The Athletic, "I was always wanting to throw it. I didn't care as much about the cool catches on the sideline. I was always wanting to throw it before they hit the sideline or throw the over-the-shoulder catches. A lot of times when a child shows a lot of potential at quarterback, parents will overdo it at an early age." Greg tried to not fall in this trap and avoided the middle school quarterback camp circuit. Greg said he did not want to develop dad vision, which he described as a delusional and unrealistic expectation for his son. Greg had experience with college recruitment due to coaching Elijah Holyfield and 8 other Division I players in the past. In 8th grade, Brock's family started to realize he was developing into a special player, so Greg sent film out to a few schools. It was not an offer my middle schooler type of film sharing, it was more of a, "I don't know how Brock will develop, but you may want to put this kid on your radar." Vandagriff attended Prince Avenue Christian School, where he played for his father. Along with football, Brock also played basketball and ran track. During his freshman year, Brock completed 14 of his 25 passes for 267 yards and 2 touchdowns while also having 130 rushing yards and 3 more touchdowns on the ground. During his sophomore year, Vandagriff threw for 3,190 yards, 28 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, while also rushing for 1,001 yards and 23 more touchdowns on the ground. In 2019, he threw for 2,471 yards, 31 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, completing 71.6% of his passes. He also added 262 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. Vandagriff played through a broken ankle in a game during his junior year, but only played in 8 games for the whole season. During the 2020 season, Vandagriff put his team on his back, throwing for 4,162 yards, 46 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, completing nearly 71% of his passes. He also rushed for 503 yards and 17 touchdowns on the ground. Prince Avenue finished the season 13-1, winning the Georgia A Private State Championship. During the title game, Vandagriff threw for 274 yards and 2 scores while also rushing for more than 80 yards and another touchdown on the ground. The insane thing about Vandagriff's senior season is the fact he played with an injured PCL that he suffered in the 4th week of the season. The kid is tough as nails. Vandagriff was named the National High School Quarterback of the Year from the National Quarterback Club. Brock also competed in the Elite 11 finals and was named to the All-American Bowl game. Hey you! Yeah, you! Do you think Brock Vandagriff is the next quarterback for Georgia? Let me know in the comment section below. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it because it really helps the video in the algorithm. According to 24/7 Sports Composite, Brock Vandagriff was a 5-star recruit who was the 2nd best dual-threat quarterback, 2nd best player in Georgia, and 16th best player in his class. According to Gabe Brooks at 24/7 Sports, Vandagriff's pro comparison is Jarrett Stidham, and he projected to be a future 2nd-round pick in the NFL draft. He received over 20 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, and Oklahoma. His first Division I offer came from Miami. The Vandagriffs had gone to church with Mark Richt when he was the head coach at Georgia, so there was a family connection. The interest from schools started growing gradually, and the family focused on Oklahoma, Florida, and Georgia. Originally, Georgia was only on the list due to its proximity to home. Oklahoma and Florida were on the list due to how Brock would have fit in the offensive scheme due to his ability. Oklahoma was the early frontrunner due to Lincoln Riley's success at developing quarterbacks, turning both Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray into Heisman winners and #1 overall picks, and Vandagriff's skill set fit the offense almost perfectly. Greg Vandagriff spoke on the situation saying it was the right football decision, and the decision was based on football, not based on logistics, what's best for everybody else. It was based off of what is best for football and his career. If he wants to go to the NFL, this is the spot. It seemed like Brock was going to be a Sooner until a holiday dinner in 2019. One of his relatives made a comment about how far Oklahoma was from home. Brock admitted that he had given the idea some thought, surprising his parents who didn't realize their son was having second thoughts. Greg tried to be hands-off during his son's recruitment, letting Brock set up his own interviews, what schools they were going to visit, and what camps they were going to attend. A few days after Christmas, Brock realized he didn't want to go to Oklahoma and wanted to be closer to home. He spoke to Georgia head coach Kirby Smart and then offensive coordinator James Coley, but he didn't decommit from Oklahoma right away. The Georgia coaching staff was excited to recruit Vandagriff, especially since Georgia's offense was struggling at the time. Brock still thought Oklahoma was the best fit for him football-wise, but spoke on the situation saying, "Me and my dad were talking, my priorities have kind of switched. I want to be close to my family. I feel like wherever I go, I feel like I'm going to be able to thrive. If you're good enough to go to the NFL, they're going to find you." Then Jeff Monken was hired to be the offensive coordinator for Georgia 3 days after Vandagriff committed to Georgia. Monken told Brock, "What you need to understand is we're going to run what fits our players best. If it's pass run 50-50, then we're going to do that. If it's pass first, if it's run first, I do believe we're going to open up the passing game more. But to be successful in the SEC, you have to run the ball. We're not going to get away from that." Brock compares the way he plays the game to former LSU quarterback Joe Burrow, saying, "I'd say my label would be a 1A guy. A pro-style guy that can extend the play if need be, and get out of the pocket if that's what happens. But the main thing I'm doing is if timing is right and no pressure, bang, the ball's out. Stuff like that. The play breaks down, the pocket breaks down, get out and try to make something happen." Brock Vandagriff enrolled early at Georgia and quickly began to impress the coaching staff. Kirby Smart told Rivals.com podcast, "He loves the weight room. He loves to compete and lift weights and compete. It's hard for me to put a tag on a guy like that because he's a bit different than the other guys. He is looked to be as good as advertised early on according to Dog Nation. During Georgia's spring game, he completed 6 of his 9 passes for 47 yards. This season he has only attempted 1 pass, which was an incompletion, but he has impressed the coaching staff throughout the season." Kirby Smart told Sports Illustrated back in November, "I've seen Brock a lot up close because he's been on the scout team at quarterback. You know, he's simulated a lot of these guys that we've had. Really athletic, makes throws on the run, very accurate, competitive, you know. He likes going against the defense each day. He doesn't always have the best protection, but we're not hitting him either. So he's done a really good job." Last week, leading up to the college football semifinals, Todd Monken told the press, "We believe Brock Vandagriff is going to be a good player. Brock Vandagriff is a talented player." On the Junkyard Dogcast, Rusty Mansell said, "Since about Florida, I continue to hear that Brock Vandagriff is really taking a step forward. He has the best arm in that room, the ball comes out of Brock's hand, different than everyone else in the room. JT Daniels, none of them have the arm that Vandagriff has. You have to be able to process, be accurate, all those things. That's taken a little bit of time with him. He's a big kid. When they see him, they do not realize how big he is. This kid is 6'3" legit. He's a dual threat guy, can run. He's had a really good bowl practice and is starting to take those steps forward. As you look towards the spring, we will see if he carries it over. Since Florida, Brock Vandagriff has stepped up and the game has started to slow down. Physically, no one looks like him and has the arm he's got. You want to see him put it all together. Personally, I am really excited to see what Brock Vandagriff is able to do. What do you think? Will Brock be a star at Georgia? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.